Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Lights Camera Pop, and this is actually a special episode because it is kind of a mashup of Lights Camera Pop and the horror of it all, which is super cool. But you all know me as Rich, and with me, as always,
Mike, what's going on, guys?
and we are also joined by the Cloud, Mr. Brian the Misfit. How's it
What's
going?
going on?
How's it going, guys?
So far, swimming along, man. So
So,
far, swimming
just
along.
keep
How about you?
swimming. Fantastic. Speaking of swimming, we had just got back. You just got back. This is why our episodes have been so sporadic lately because you were in Ocean City and
Yeah,
then you came back on Saturday. I left on Sunday. So
right.
there was nothing but jellyfish in that ocean. So there was no swimming on my parts.
I didn't have any. Like, it was funny because, like, Amy got hit, Kendall got hit, Zach got hit, Peyton got hit, and they didn't touch me. They knew better. They knew better.
What was you going to do?
I'm- I'm- I can't tell you. It's proprietary.
Oh,
He
okay.
stepped
Gotcha.
he stepped in the water and they could feel that radioactive coming off him.
Right.
It's a
No, they
family
just knew I had the
podcast.
bat. You know how Batman has shark spray in the original movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, I
Anti
got jellyfish spray.
the shark repellent.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Luckily for you, you had your jellyfish repellent on you.
Uh,
But yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, this week has been getting reacclimated back from being on vacation and everything. It has been not as terrible as I thought it was going to be, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Oh, it was for me. I came back and my mom decided to go and run over a 50-foot cable of that we used the dog run on and uh did a completely run on the lawnmower. Then one of the rental units we have, they decided to, I don't know, flush a teddy bear down the toilet. So it became Niagara Falls in the house over there. I can just go on and on with the shitstorm that ran down upon me when I got back. But other than that, I mean, like, I'm fine. And Brian, I still got to get with you because I got to give you your book and I got to square up on that crap that you did for me.
I was just about to text you, say we'll find a time.
All right, brother.
Awesome. So before we get into our guests tonight, because I've been really looking forward to this episode, two things I did want to bring up, and they are both super recent, and we're gonna bring the mood down real quick. First and foremost, uh, big like thoughts and I dare say the thoughts and prayers kind of attributes, but thoughts going out to Tom Savini and his wife. Like I'm sure everybody has known by now, his
Oh yeah.
house caught fire.
Yeah.
Everybody, they're safe, and I guess the fire department went and they got everything taken care of before there was any real damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, hope it's a easy bounce back for you. And yeah, come on the show. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
But also this one, like, just breaking, really, if you will. But it happened last night. I didn't find out till first thing this morning. Hayden Panettiere died,
Yeah.
and that was like not that I really like followed her career, but she's been in a lot of stuff, and she was a great actress.
It was,
And
I mean, not only her, but like, I want to shout out. It's been a bad week for nerds in general with Hayden
Yeah.
passing away. But I mean, there's three other people that also passed away that were just as important for us.
mhm.
And Brian Hooligan passed away. He was a
Yep.
veteran. He did Spawn writing, everything like that. Um, a legendary writer, Gary Conway, passed away. He wrote for Marvel and DC.
I
And
saw that.
then another big person, the former Topps Cards. He was like the creative director for Topps Cards from 41. He was he was born in 41. He passed away this year,
Yeah.
and he was basically responsible for like Garbage Pail Kids and all the stuff like that. So I mean,
Well,
it's been tough for being a nerd.
and also
Yeah.
there was another one too that just happened yesterday, or may have been today. I think it was yesterday, but I've been seeing a lot more of it today. Was the special effects makeup artist.
Yep.
What is?
I didn't hear about this
Screaming
one.
Mad George, yeah.
Yeah, Screaming Mad George. He had done the effects for uh, Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I mean, his credits were pretty wild. That was like the main one that I saw that I was just like, damn, that's pretty wild. But yeah, like these guys, it was
The
just
sad thing is, the sad thing, Brian, and Balls, and well, everybody here, okay. The sad thing is, like, we're not young anymore. Like, we might think we're still in our 20s or teens, but we're not young anymore. And the people
we're
that
not
we're talking about, you know,
or
like,
younger than us.
besides, yeah, besides Peyton, like, besides like Panettiere, I mean, like, um, they're
Oh,
all our heroes are getting up there in age. Let's just put it that way.
mhm.
You know, and it's crazy.
Which is
But her passing was really immensely sad. I mean, like you said, I didn't really follow much of her career, but her career was prolific and she did a lot of good stuff. Heroes was great until it wasn't.
right.
Um, I liked her story arc when she was on. I think she was on Malcolm in the Middle, and she
Yep.
did a bunch of cool stuff. And yeah, she was a beautiful woman,
Yep.
and yeah, it's just an utter shame.
Yep.
Out of
And
nowhere.
it really did. And just because all this happened, I was like, I have to go see some stuff about her. And then I come across a podcast that she had did back in May, and she was promoting her book. And wow, it was eye-opening, and it was sad because a lot of the stuff that she was going through with mental abuse, not mental abuse, I'm sorry, addiction, alcoholism, and not only was she going through that as Hayden, they were writing that stuff for her in the Nashville TV series. So during
Right.
that, she was like living the same life in both lives that she had. And like that could
It's
not
like
have
art
worked.
imitated life, and
Yep.
life imitated art.
Yeah. And she said that it wasn't healthy for her. And that's why she had him write her out of the show eventually, because it got too much for her. And I do remember at that time, she left and she went into rehab for a while. But yeah, huge bucket of wind to all like her career, everybody's career in this, because I think, their work is going to live on, and it's sad to know that at the very end of that podcast, uh, the guy interviewing her, he said that, you know, this book is now written. You're starting a new chapter in your life. What is that chapter going to be called? And she said, I really don't think of it that way. I mean, I have a new chapter, but I have a lot more life to live.
Yep.
And that was back in May. And here we are. And her birthday, she was going to be 37 in 5 more days.
It's such a shame. It's
really
a
is.
shame.
It really is. So I did want to bring that up. We'd be remiss if we didn't, because that
And
was pretty big.
this tragedy, real quick, kind of gave Rich and I an idea for another show. So we will be.
And we might actually,
touching
it's going to be,
this.
it may not be Pulitzer Prize winning, but I think we could get there. I think with that
Right.
show, we could get there. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Because right now we're going to live in the present. And
Yes.
I have been waiting for this episode. You were the one who actually kind of brought me on to our guest. And he brought me on to the other guest, because we have 2. And dude, like I can't even like really give any kind of introduction, because I'm just excited and over the moon for this. But I know it's crazy. But so everybody, they have a documentary coming out that is for fans, by fans, about Troma. If you do not know who Troma is, look them up. They are the epitome of 80s. Like literally, it is every mom and pop 80s um, video store horror section. You walk in, you see Toxic Avenger, you see Sergeant Kabuki Man. I mean, it's just Class of Nukem High. These are just like stepping stones into a lot of filmmakers' lives. And for me, and like you know yourself, Mike and Brian, like I've said time and time again, which is like one of the reasons why I'm like super excited for this episode too, because I've always said for me wanting to be a filmmaker, one of the movies that always drew me into horror and wanting to do what they do was The Toxic Avenger, because I was 8 years old watching that movie. When it was released, I had no business watching it. There was no filter back then.
No.
So I like I said, I had no business watching it, but I did, and it literally changed my world at
Well,
that
we were
time.
feral children to begin with, so that
Still
movie
are.
really, yeah. So that movie, like, not movie, but that whole movie house, we'll
Yep.
say, is perfect for our generation. It's Gen X to the T.
Oh, 100%. And like I said, it was Troma and Full Moon. I think those were the two indie B movie horror. And I say B movie, and everyone like, oh, it's a B movie. No, those are the best movies ever. And I love the fact that I got to watch a documentary about these type of movies and how it affected fans and
So
where they
without
are today.
further ado,
Thank you. We have Mike Rogers and Matt ONesti. Yeah, let me see. Oh,
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for having us on.
thank you. Oh, there we go. I was able to put in a little applaud there. How you guys doing?
Wheels,
We're good. Yeah, we're doing good. Excited to hear. Thank you very much for those very, very kind words you had about our documentary.
Oh, just wait. We're gonna be waxing your car for the for the rest of the episode. But so like, I do want to ask before we even get into everything else. But like, so growing up, was Troma like a big part of your life? Did you always want to be into filmmaking, things like that? Was that always a privy to you guys? There's a nice little cat right there.
actually, yeah. I mean, I've been accused of shilling Troma on people like used car insurance for like 20 some years now. Yeah, I mean, it's always been a part of my life. I became a rabid fan from USA Up All Night. They used to play like classic stuff like Nuke 'Em High and
Yes.
boxing and all that stuff. And then I just kind of been chasing the dragon from there. And then as I got older, I just became obsessed with it. And anytime you would see that little logo, I don't care what it was, I would have to see it, whether it was a pickup or ones that was directed by Lloyd. And then he's always been an inspiration to me. He's always been one of the biggest heroes in my life. And it's funny, if I went back in a time machine and I told my like 15-year-old self that I would actually be friends with him one day, I'd be like, yeah, you're full of shit. It wouldn't happen. But no, it's true. And, he still remains to be one of my favorite people in the world and one of my biggest inspirations. And I've been spreading the good word ever since.
See, I love hearing that, because one of the things you always hear people say is you never want to meet your heroes. They always say, like, 9 out of 10 times they're going to be a jerk, they're going to be an asshat, they're going to be something like that. But it's so refreshing, and I've been getting it more and more where people are like, no, I met my hero, and they're still my hero because they were just cool people.
Right.
And I think that's just fantastic, and that's Blue, and that's the testament to what Lloyd has built over the decades.
Literally decades. Literally decades.
You know, making cool movies with cool people and treating people great. And I just think that's cool. It's the epitome of it's filmmaking punk rock is what it is.
The whole experience of being on a Troma set is not so much that.
It's interesting.
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah.
It's an interesting experience to say. It might be better. Well, it's like a more dangerous version of Citizen Kane.
Oh boy.
But that's just par for the course, though. You know what you're getting into. And real honestly, if like there wasn't hard times and like, I mean, if you ever want to see what insanity looks like, you need to spend the time on the Troma set. Or, you might get treated like shit once in a while, but you're going to have a hell of a time being there doing it. So, I mean,
The
it's just.
funny thing is, I wanted to be on this. I've always wanted to be on a set of Troma. I had sent a letter. I remember years ago, I wasn't even 18 yet. And I had sent a letter to Troma. It was their New York office. I sent it and I was like, I'm a big fan. I love the Toxic Avenger. I really want to learn to be a filmmaker. I want to be I want to make films with Troma. And I've never heard anything back, but it could have been lost in the mail. B, I was probably, like I said, 16, 17 when I sent that. And they're probably like, no, this probably isn't for you since you're not even old enough to drink yet. So, but yeah, I can only imagine that the chaos that ensues on a set from them.
We were there.
mean-
Balls and I were there for, only 48 hours, and it was. It was utter bedlam on that set. I can't wait for Power Positive Murder to come out for everyone to see it. That way, I can finally tell the insanity that goes into what's going to ultimately be 20 seconds of Balls and myself getting murdered in the most brutal way possible. Because then what it took to get those 20 seconds, it almost killed Balls. I think he almost had a broken spine at one point. And we almost drenched my entire wheelchair in what was an entire pool of blood. It was magical. It was a magical experience I would never want to give up. But holy fucking shit, was it horrifying.
that
Sacrifices
sounds
need to be made for your art.
And everything that can happen badly did. Like they blew out
Oh.
lights from the house, and they had to run like 50 extension cords, like from point A to point B.
That's one of my favorite. That was like we were on ice for like 17 straight hours, and we're rounding the corner like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Finally going over the ball. All right, Balls, we're going to be getting you to film. We're going to be getting you out. We're going to get you over the 10. It's always that. And then, like a fucking strike of lightning, all of the lights go out. The entire fucking thing. All over the place. And that's, hey, we're about to start at 10 p.m. turned into, okay, Balls, we're ready. Well, I think it was like midnight by the time that you were getting thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this
Oh
is
Yeah,
my gosh.
that was like they had like plywood set down, and they're like, and it was already so like far behind schedule. They're like, "Do you want us to go get like cushioning?" And I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll just do it." Because I'm thinking, what's the worst that can happen? It's going to be 1 or 2 takes. It was 26 takes of me smashing my fat ass down on this piece of wood, and like I woke up the next day, and I'm like, "Why the fuck can I not move?" Oh, that's why. I'm like, why'd you feel like somebody beat you up? I'm like, oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, because Amanda Flowers threw you to the ground 26 times and choked you.
Oh, I
Oh.
cannot
I mean,
wait
I know
to see
people that would
this.
pay big money for that. So, I mean, it's very flattering. It's very flattering I was breaking ribs for Amanda Flowers. Geez.
I cannot wait to see this. So Matt, when did you get bit by the bug that you wanted to do this?
So mine is significantly more recent. So like Ball said, he's shilling Troma like a Mary Kay salesman and has been his whole life. I was one of his latest converts. Him and Balls and I have our movie snobs podcast. It got started pretty much because of Troma, because I was into, film school kid, the, French New Wave bullshit kind of stuff, all that hipster shit.
Mhm.
And I was trying to get Balls on it, and he's telling me, oh, you got to check out these B movies. You said it perfectly earlier. Everyone always has this weird vision of what B movies are.
Yep.
I was that person who just didn't understand them until Balls gave me Poultrygeist
Oh my
at
god.
our movie swap. That was my introduction into Troma. And I watched that and it fucking blew my mind. It absolutely destroyed every concept that I had of what a movie should be or what I think a good movie is, because it like spit in the face of any other way that like any way that I've ever defined what a good movie was. Poultrygeist absolutely took a shit on it and made me reevaluate, like, holy fuck, like it's it's incredibly political. Like that's my big thing. Like I'm a big fan of these art house pretentious movies. I lean into these movies that have these political and socio messages. I'm watching Poltergeist and I'm like, holy shit, like we're making fun of the food industry. Holy shit, we're making fun of performative activism. Holy shit, like the music is fucking awesome and incredible. And I was like, I was like, yeah, it's offensive and it's fucked up. Every character is a stereotype turned up to a million, but like I couldn't get enough of it. And then I became obsessed. And it's like, okay, now I need to start watching all the other shit. Then I'm watching Romeo and Juliet. Fuck, this is where James Gunn came from. What the fuck
Yeah.
is this? And then I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by just this like style of movie. It was like, wait, they're fucking doing this kind of in iambic pentameter. What are these fucking people doing? Like these are, and then I'm like realizing, and I think that's what really got me into this is not only was this like wacky B movie crazy shit, it's smart as fuck. Like
Yeah.
there's shit going on in some of these movies that like only somebody who is actually paying attention to the world around them would be able to pull off. And I think my fascination then became with Trauma, and then it became with Lloyd as like a filmmaker. And an
Well, didn't Lloyd go to didn't he go to like
went to
Yale or
Yale.
something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He is a Yale Ivy League graduate. Like, and
Yeah,
that's where my mind, because then I'm starting to get into like the movies. Then I find myself reading the books. Like I find myself reading his, the biography, make your own damn movie, reading how he's talking about his life and philosophy on filmmaking, talking about going to Yale. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like what the fuck is this culture that is like bubbling under the surface? And I think that's just where I became fascinated with it. It's just a bunch of it's a bunch of on the surface what looks like degenerates all finding family with each other, and then Balls gets me hip to like things like Traumathon and the comic con. Oh, come to these conventions. You can just meet Lloyd. What do you mean I can just meet Lloyd? Yeah, he just hangs out and takes pictures with people all day. Does he charge anything? No, he just fucking does it for the love of it, and he does. And it's like, who is this fucking person? Then he brings me to Traumathon, and it's like it's I don't mean this is a pejorative, but the only like and that I think anyone understands, it's like a gathering of the juggalos, but with trauma fans, and it's I'm sure better and less smelly, I guess.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Wait, which
But then-
much less Fago, I'm sure.
Yeah, for that for sure. But it's less
Slightly.
smelly, probably not.
Oh.
We'll ask Jimmy the hair guy next week.
Yeah, that's my buddy, man.
Listen, I've always heard Jimmy the hair guy, this, like on Tell Him Steve Dave and stuff like that. I'm like, who is this guy and stuff? I never really saw. And then I swear, it wasn't until I watched the documentary and I saw him on there. I was like, holy shit, that's Jimmy the hair guy. So what do? I'm sending him a friend request. And he even liked my comments and my posts and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh yeah, Jimmy the hair guy's my friend.
No, he's one of the sweetest dudes. Him and his wife were just amazing. We just went to his wedding not too long ago, and it was a juggalo wedding.
I
That was
heard.
the first juggalo wedding I've ever been to.
The funny thing is, I heard the episode of Tell Him Steve Dave that they were talking about, but that they were there. And I was just like, that is so cool and so random that somebody does that. But yeah, so when you were watching all these movies and stuff, like when did the idea of doing the documentary come about?
Balls, I'll let you take this one because
Well, I mean, I can remember, like, it's funny because, like, I was at Tremathon one year, I think it was before Wheels had even went for the first time, and I had this inkling of an idea to shoot a documentary about trauma fans, and I even had shot, like, this little makeshift intro with Lloyd, and then it's just one of those things, man, where it just kind of went off. I just put it on the back burner. I had other things going on. I never really thought about it. And then it was funny because, Wheels and I, we're film partners and we were doing stuff. And then we were going, it was the second year that I got him to go. And he was like, yeah, he kind of was like, we should do like a documentary, about, the bands and the culture and this and that. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, I started to do something like that a while ago and I kind of just lost track of it. And then it just kind of fast tracked into this thing. And I mean, I don't know about you, Wheels, but we had kind of started it like with this very simple idea. And then when we actually got there and just seen how passionate people are and how excited they were to participate, and it just kind of turned into this, it just snowballed into this, we're like, holy shit, I think we're on to something way bigger in concept than we had ever imagined, and it really did become that way.
Well, I think that's like the funniest part about the whole thing is from jump, like it starts off as one thing, and then it was a project. Like the final, which I think this is why like Balls and I we sound so shocked and are like, oh my God, you guys really like this. Because we didn't know what it was until we kind of got to the end. Like
Mhm.
it was one of those things that was so in the moment. It was just because it really was that. It's starting off just as Balls want like having Balls wrote 3 questions that he wanted to just ask or that he felt he could ask to any fan and immediately get this like capture or like this snapshot of their relationship with Troma. And it was really, really simple. It was just like, what got you into it? What is your favorite movie? And was it what keeps you coming back?
Yeah,
Was that the original 3?
that was the original 3.
Yeah. Because then we started adding, like, as we started to realize, oh my God, wait, there's a little bit more to this, we started adding some more questions. But just those were the original things that Balls was going around. I was just playing cameraman. He was playing,
With myself.
journalist. He was playing himself, playing with himself on camera. That's the side footage that you're going to have to buy on our Patreon afterwards of Balls in the
Stop and
bathroom.
take my money.
I was just gonna say it.
You're gonna be disappointed, Mike.
Uh,
Just
I
ask that
can't be
Tina.
much.
But then I think like as we were filming it, we started just hearing these patterns and we started just hearing these like similar stories and similar reactions. And then it's like, oh, okay, wait, this really had some deep meaning into it. And then, we got really lucky, as Ball said, people started finding out about this and everyone wanted to be a part of it. And they were like, oh my God, we want to send some videos. We want to start getting these random, so we got people like Debbie Rochon and Trent to be sending in stuff to us.
Rhonda Shear.
That's right. Well, Balls, some of those you got hers at one of the conventions, I think, right?
Yeah, I guilted her into doing it at a nerd convention. Yes,
aha.
I should say guilted.
How
I
do you-
mean,
How do you
she
think
was
we get some
extremely
of our?
busy, and she took time to do it. So I mean,
Well, that's what, and I
Jason,
think
How do you think we got some of our guests too, like, guilting them into doing shit, like be at a convention, and be like, hey, I'll buy this off you, but you want to be on my show?
my grandpa always said the squeakiest wheel gets the oil, and that's been what I live by. I have no shame. I'll totally. That's how I've got 80% of my guests. Just I think I bug them to the point where like, all right, motherfucker, I'll just do it so you leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
But hey, that counts.
Shut up. Yeah, it's a win. Shut up.
Right. So, like, did you do a lot of traveling to get a lot, or because I know Matt, you said that people were sending you videos and stuff. Did you also travel to get some of these interviews with people?
The only traveling that we wound up doing, well, obviously we were at Tromathon. We filmed on location at Tromathon at the Mahoning Drive-In.
Mhm.
We had a handful. We had a whole bunch of interviews sent us into us through different capacities. Balls went and got a handful at a couple of local conventions. And then we realized, and I think what was funny is we started to notice these patterns, these similar conversations of like, oh, this inspired me to do something. This inspired me to get out of bed. This inspired me to be a filmmaker. The music, had an impact on the rest of my life. This got me out of my shell. This is how I found community. We started hearing all these things, and then we realized, well, fuck, we need to talk to Uncle Lloyd about this. We need to have, like, now we need to let him in on what this means to his fans, because originally the idea was just going to be fan documentary, and it's just going to be about the fans, and that's really going to be it. Uncle Lloyd was just going to be in like the beginning, and then he was almost going to be like Darth Vader. We weren't going to really show him at all. We were just going to talk about him, and he was going to be this. But then it was like, no, like we need to have a conversation with Lloyd, and then it turned into us getting down to the trauma office. And luckily a non-snowy weekend in what was it, like March or some shit. And wound up doing just one of the best interviews that I think Balls and I had ever been a part of in our entire lives. We did like an hour with Lloyd and just did a full, like, that's another one. I hope that, which I think we are, to release just a nice uncut of that full conversation with Lloyd, because it was wide ranging. We had to cut a bunch of stuff out to keep it relevant to the documentary, but I think in those moments we realized this is a guy who knows so much about everything, and is so aware, and is so, willing to just kind of share who he is with the public. But yeah, that was the only traveling we did, and it was out of necessity of we need to finish this, and we need to let Lloyd know what his fans mean to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how we stumbled ass backwards into a conversation between Lloyd and his fans.
Okay, so now that makes me want to ask the question, because like I need to for you, Matt, especially because you were like nose to nose with Lloyd, and he said something to you that I couldn't wait to have you on to ask how you felt about this, because I know me personally, I was like, oh my God, like I would melt. So you made the comment, oh, I'm not a documentarian by any means or something like along those lines. But the bottom line was you said, I'm not a documentarian. And Lloyd said, well, you sure seem like one. Like it was like it felt like you could have been like, drop the mic, I'm done. Like, how did that make you feel when he first said that?
So it was one of those ones to where, like, what was happening even that moment was just so sharp, and it was just like, because it was ultimately like just me and Lloyd fucking around, like, even in that moment. And I think what was so hard about, like, Ball's gonna test for this. Interviewing Lloyd is difficult because you don't know when he's in character and when he's not in character.
Okay,
Like,
I can see
there
that.
are moments where you'll be talking to him, and like, because I've seen some people who get really frustrated with interviewing him. They're like, oh, he never got out of character. It's like you have to almost just listen to his inflection. And I think what was so interesting about, like, even that moment is we're fucking around on something, and I'm just trying to break down Lloyd's wall because I can feel his wall coming back up. So obviously the way to break his wall down is make him laugh or say something ridiculous, or, like, you always that, like, you can't be like, you have to almost look him in the eye. If Lloyd says something fucked up, you have to say something just as fucked up back to him. Like, it's really terrifying. And it's tough to keep up with him. He's an 80-some-year-old man who's significantly sharper than people who are like 40 years younger than him.
And and I'm glad you even mentioned his age. Because as I'm watching, he is like still so just spry. Just he's just so uppity. He's just very energetic. And when I'm watching this, he's sitting there, he's like drinking a Monster and smoking a geek bar. I'm like, what? Like, how are you
drinking a Monster and vaping like a 15-year-old the entire fucking episode? And it's so that's what I mean. It's so, like, there's so much ridiculous happening in the moment. So, like, in what we're talking about, I'm fucking around with Lloyd, and we're just fucking around. And I'm trying to make sure that wall doesn't go back up, because I feel like we're about to be in a really interesting conversation. And then so I just hit him with the normal self-deprecating bullshit that I rely on to get laughs. And he comes back with just such a fast, like I think I said this to Balls the other day, we were talking about it. Like it was weird. Like while we were talking to him, he was simultaneously in character talking to us about art and philosophy, and he was like mentoring us as documentarians and as filmmakers. Like you kind of even some of it got cut out, but you actually even see some of it at the beginning to where like Lloyd is directing the room. Like wow, like it literally starts off with Lloyd pretty much yelling to Sabrina or Frank, whoever was like to like take pictures and shit and stop the conversation dead distract. That happens 4 times in like that wind up getting cut out to where we would just be having a conversation and Lloyd would be like, no, no, wait. And then he would like call somebody else or he would like call to like Sabrina to go do something. And then we would have to like start over from scratch. And then it was like, I don't know, he was like mentoring us in the moment. It was weird.
Yeah.
And I think when he hits me with that line, it was sort of this like, oh fuck, we actually like he actually trusts us. Like it was maybe that moment where me and Balls like kind of looked at each other and we were like, okay, he trusts us. He trusts us to just kind of do what we're doing. And I think after that point we started talking about some actual real serious shit of just like arts and why. Like the why. I feel like the why really started to come out of him after that moment, which
Yeah.
was sweet.
I tell you what, because like watching this and some things that like I took away from this, just like looking at it, and I don't know if it was a choice or if it just because sometimes in film things just happen and they fall into place the way you want them, even though you didn't expect it. But watching this from beginning to end, it looks like I went to my local mom and pop, picked up a VHS, took it home, popped it in, and it looked like you shot it made for TV, where it was like, oh, this is the VHS that I picked up. Like, was that a choice? Was that something
You
that
and I even talked about that when we were watching the screener. Me and Rich were kind of like messaging each other back and forth, and we were like really excited about how it was actually shot and filmed because it wasn't how I want to say it, well, Rich just like summed it up perfectly there. It was just shot very guerrilla style,
Yeah.
but very like a polished guerrilla style.
yeah, and
Okay.
it really was. And like I said, it really did. It the grain, like a lot of it was so, like I said, like when this comes out, because I do know that it's gonna have a kind of a unique release, but we'll get into that later. But I hope at one like what I would do, maybe just do 100 of them. Get like because I tell you what, 100 of them, $75 a piece. They're gone. Do a VHS copy of them and get that little Troma box art. Listen, Rob Zombie's out there slinging 8 tracks right now.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, Integrity just put an 8-track out, and VHS is huge right now. If you would do a limited run VHS and then definitely do it like with that Troma, that early 80s Troma art
Yep.
on the cover of it, and then you'd sell out of them instantly.
I
You'd
guarantee
sell
it.
out of them instantly. But people like Vinegar Syndrome would want to have them in the shops.
100%. So anyway, back to that question. So was that a choice, or or did that just kind of happen?
It was so raw and guerrilla that we had microphones fucking breaking on us while we were interviewing.
My favorite part about that whole thing too is Wheels primarily shot most of this. And would you like to tell them how? Would you like to tell them about your fabricated shooting tool?
So what's funny is like trying to figure out how the fuck are we going to shoot this. I'm sure as you guys have have seen, I could back up and show. Actually, I don't even know if I have it anywhere in here. I had to go find it and bring it out of the basement. But I'm a fella in a wheelchair. So we had to figure out how in the fuck is a fella in a wheelchair going to be the cameraman for some sort of effort like this. And I rigged up a monopod. It was a mono. I have it was one of those Canon journalism cameras. I got one of those refurbished, just Canon,
Okay.
cameras that you would see for kids in J school. Got that, got a shitty monopod, and then I hooked that monopod into a Christmas tree stand. And then that Christmas tree stand, I put my feet on like fucking stirrups. And then that's what I ran around in. I ran around with this setup at Tromathon, just following balls with this makeshift fucking like dolly that I had created out of myself. If I can get a picture, I'll try and put it in I'll put it in our Zoom chat so you can put it when you guys share this episode. Um, so yeah, like that was shot. It was shot with that camera. Actually, in the documentary, that kind of goofy setup, you see me there with the camera in front of me, talking to Lloyd with
Yeah.
a camera. So that was the setup. Just because I wanted to keep it consistent. But yeah, that was rolling around with that fucking shit at Tromathon.
That's
And
so
then
cool.
between that, Balls' phone camera got the rest of it when we couldn't get stuff. We filmed it on a nice DV, on a nice Canon video camera. We filmed it on a random couple my old DSLR, cell phone footage and Zoom footage and webcam play. It was and 360 cam. At points there was 360 cam being used
Wow.
for those goofy shots that were looking like closed caption or closed circuit television in the office.
Yeah.
I got that with a 360 cam. So we
What
used
about
about every fucking medium you could for this thing.
That's
what
so
about
cool.
editing? How long did it take you for your editing process to go through?
It should have taken 3 years.
Ugh.
It's the project that we both Balls and I should be working on, but in one of the most fortunate things that could ever happen to a project, we were given a deadline by our executive producer Liam Reagan of Refuse Films, who is releasing our documentary on the Mr. Melvin box set. We got a deadline from Liam that was, hey, get this shit done, guys, because I got a home for you. And I think it's really beautiful. It was a really beautiful thing because it was like it forced us to have to solve a lot of crazy problems
Right.
almost instantly. I mean, it was a pain in the ass to edit. We had so much fucking footage. We had like just hundreds of hours of footage. We filmed what 50 people just at Tromathon.
Yeah.
Got in 20, 20 auxiliary interviews, maybe. Some of those would be like we would get 20-minute interviews from people and we're like, guys, what the fuck? Like we said 5 minutes at most, and we're getting 20-minute fucking like dissertations. And it sucks because they're good. Like we would get these like real heartfelt, just beautiful fucking like just actors, fans spilling their guts out about how beautiful and what this meant to them. And it was the hardest thing to try and edit around because you don't want, like, it's one of those things to where, like, I want to put the full 20 minutes beginning to end of
Right.
what's being said, but then like, we should still be working on it. To this day, we should still be fucking working on
And you
it.
guys handled it very nicely because, you could tell that there were some breaks in there where you're maybe interviewing Veda.
Yeah.
And like she will be popping up one moment, but then she'll pop up later on to kind of follow up with what she had said earlier.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys handled like the editing, everything looked fantastic. And
It was it was an interesting one too, especially trying to figure out like because like I was saying earlier, we did a lot of this like without knowing where we were going, which is never what you want to hear going into a project. Is I have no idea where this is going or what we're doing or how this is going to look. Um, but I think what was interesting about it is then trying to go like to find the footage because we filmed it backwards, we wound up interviewing Lloyd for an hour and then we had to rework the edit again. And
Yeah.
then we had a week. That's actually another fun story, Balls, that we probably can share is
Is that when at the last minute you completely recut the whole
yes.
film?
Yeah, exploded the
What?
entire thing. We needed this thing turned in practically. We needed it to not quite Monday, but for this story, we're gonna say this needed to be turned in on Monday. And on Friday, I made the choice to explode the entire edit.
Oh.
Because originally what the idea was it was going to be fan edit in the beginning, you know, it was going to be the fan side conversations with them, and then the last hour was going to be just the conversation with Lloyd.
Yeah.
And at that 23rd hour, something got into me and us, and as we were going over with our, you know, our other producer Harrison, and we were just kind of trying to figure out what's going on with this, got this wild idea of fuck, we have the ability to turn it into a conversation between Lloyd and his fans. We have to do this. We have a deadline. Had a lot of coffee. For the next 72 hours, proceeded to scare the ever loving shit out of Balls because not
Yeah, when I first heard this news, I'm pretty sure I shit myself. Like,
I've been watching this the same way for like at least a month now.
and not only that, I think our original cut was like 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was a 2 hour. It was a little over 2 hour, and we had two problems we had to solve. We needed to kill a half hour out of it to bring it to a normal runtime.
So people don't fall asleep.
And there was something that just wasn't feeling right, at least in my brain, and at least in our brain, something wasn't feeling right about like the presentation. And that edits, I was like, this can solve both of these problems. We just have no time if it fails. And it wound up working out.
I think
It worked out pretty well.
It
Yeah.
really did. And that's what I was going to say. Like, you really handled it. Like, the thought process that you had, the 180, the whole creative decision that you had to, you know what, I'm going to scrap it. We're going to just start fresh over again. And it was a great choice. It really
Well,
was.
it's trauma. I think that was the thing too, that we lived the trauma spirit with this because trauma sets and trauma productions are chaos
Mhm.
and ideas change in the moment and you just have to adapt to them. And I think Sabrina even said it. There one of the lines of the documentary. It's not nothing is right or nothing is finished until it is to you. And I think that's one of the bigger things that I at least took away because I feel like I learned so much about myself. I learned about what we can do creatively. I learned so much about like what it actually means to tell a story. Um, and I think one of the more important sides of it is it doesn't matter what the proper way to do this or what the rules say or how you're supposed to do a documentary or how you're supposed to tell these stories. At the end of the day, it's what you're comfortable with as an artist and as a creator. And if you can't look at your work and say like I fuck with this 100%, then you shouldn't be putting it out. And that's one of those things that I think trauma exemplifies more than anything in this world, that like you have to ultimately fuck with what you're putting out more than anything because other people may not get it. Like there
Right.
might be people outside of this who just don't get it, and you have to be ready to stand on your shit and stand behind your work.
That's
No
perfect.
true
Yeah,
words.
that's okay. I do have a question about okay, when you're filming this, this has nothing to do with the actual film. This has to do more with like your family. What like did your family get it? Did they support it? Or were they just like, this is a fool's errand?
Balls, I'm gonna let you take this one because you have a surprising one with this.
Oh, I mean, to be honest with you, I think whenever Wheels and I get embroiled in these kind of things, whether it be films or short films or this, especially this, I'm very fortunate because like I get in like such a laser focus kind of thing that I'm pretty sure I drive not only my poor wife and my stepdaughter crazy, but pretty much anybody in my life whatsoever. Like I'm pretty much all in, and that's all I want to talk about. That's all I think about. It wakes me up in the middle of the night, and I'm pretty sure I've drove everybody crazy. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't think my wife ever wants to see it again.
Oh,
But yeah, because I've seen between Wheels and I, we've between all the different edits and the cuts and the finality, like we've seen this thing probably 300 times easily.
Every iteration of it.
I can
Oh.
imagine.
And like
She's probably can't wait to see it again for the 147th.
I'm gonna make her watch it tonight just because she didn't disagree.
Clockwork Orange style.
Hi guys.
Hi, Christina.
Hi.
Hello.
I've been
So,
seeing
yeah.
you forever.
We watched it like, oh my god. I'm like, we really have to watch this thing again. You really have to watch this part again. I'm so over this. Oh my gosh. But it turned out great, and I'm very proud.
I love that.
I figured you would be. I'm glad that you popped on, and I knew that you would be extremely supportive from this.
Now she knows how much this means. I'm not just a fan. Like this has been a way of life and a part of my life since I was very, very young. Like I mean, not just with Lloyd. I mean, I with just the whole thing. Like I mean, I've always followed Troma and Lloyd around like the Grateful Dead, and I mean, it's I feel like a groupie at this point. Only I haven't fucked them yet. I mean, yeah,
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 There's always that.
There's still time.
that's my hall pass.
So, like, as we're winding down, though, I will have to say, though, like, I don't want to spoil the end, but listen, that ending to the doc was like, because you had no idea what was going on. Everybody needs to make sure, like, I know they're going to watch it. When they do, make sure you just keep going because it turns into such satire at one point that I'm just like, oh my God. So please, like, I can't even, like, I don't even want to spoil it. Like, and I know you guys are laughing because you know what I'm talking about. But let's just say Lloyd is a trooper.
Once it finally releases, we'll have to do a comeback
Oh,
around.
100%.
Well, what we can say on it is it's one of my I think what I love so much about it is like how every good documentary should go. Every good documentary should actively go out of its way to undermine the entire hour and 30 minutes preceding what you just saw. To me, that's a great documentary, is one that tells you at the end it was all not worth any of it.
Take
Without
notes,
giving
Lester
anything
Holt.
away, just to tickle your ass with a feather, we do have an unblurred version.
Oh, dear Lord.
Ooh.
That'll be available on the Patreon as well.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
That's so funny. And I tell you what, guys, like, again, I really thank you so much for coming on. I felt so privileged and honored to like be sent this and to check it out. And like I was telling Mike the other day, like, I've been writing stuff. I write stuff. I have nothing done with them, but like I'm working toward it. I'm building toward it. And so I was in between one screenplay, a short, and then I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I've been writing this for. It's literally a short. It was going to be a full length, and then I'm bringing it around. Don't worry. There's a point. So there is a short, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm never going to film this, but it would make a badass comic book. So I turned the short into issue 1 of a upcoming 6-issue miniseries. So that's one of the things that I've been kind of working on. Yep, kind of let that cut out of the bag right now. But so I was in the middle of also writing another short, and there is a movie that the couple is watching. And that movie, I was like, you know what? I could do something with that, but what? Then I watched your documentary, and it reminded me how much love I had for Troma. Because sometimes, you know, when you grow up, you start to like you go different pathways and things like that. But then you see something and you smell something, and it just reels you back in. And then it hit me. I'm going to write another short that is going to be the movie that this couple is watching, and it's going to be extremely trauma heavy filled, and it was, you know, because of you guys of reinvigorating that love for me, and
Okay.
I'm so excited about that, and I appreciate
Okay,
it.
before we go, each one of us, what's your favorite Troma movie?
Oh,
I mean, you can't say Toxic Avenger because
Yeah, Toxic Avenger doesn't exist.
yeah, that
Unmixed
is
universe.
Mine's still Poltergeist. That's the thing. I feel like I've been going around mine. I just as a musical, it's perfect. It is a perfect musical.
I agree.
Balls.
Mine changes from week to week, but I can give you my top three. I mean, I can't say Toxie, but he's emblazoned in my flesh right here. But I'd have to say Terra Firma, Poltergeist, Tremio, or yeah, what do you call it?
Non-Lloyd,
Citizen Toxie.
non-Lloyd, Electric Apricot for me. What's your favorite non-Lloyd balls?
Oh, my favorite pickup?
Yeah, favorite pickup.
Probably Blood-Sucking Freaks.
yeah.
Oh,
Brian,
that's
what's
a good
yours?
one.
If I have to, not Toxie, just by default, Street Trash.
Rich?
It's Terra Firma. I absolutely love that. Romeo and Juliet. And like I'm with my, I just can't. I can't. It's hard to pick one. It can change from week to week. Poltergeist is amazing, so fun. Cannibal the musical,
Oh yeah.
That might be the best pickup now that I think about it. Geez.
absolutely hysterical, so well done. And of course, I mean, you always have to go back to some of the classics. Sergeant Kabuki Man,
Sergeant
NYPD.
Kabuki Man is my favorite.
I
That was my favorite.
love that. I remember that was the second movie because when I started learning more about trauma after Toxie, Sergeant Kabuki Man was the second one that I went out and rented. And like I love that movie so much.
Sergeant Kabuki Man was the movie that cemented me into loving Troma. That was the movie that was just like, all right, everything they've done is gold, and this is beyond. This is platinum. I just freaking loved it. I don't know why. It just resonated with me, and that is still to this day my favorite.
Yeah, and of course we'd probably all be remiss too by not saying the Class of Nukem High is up there too with
Oh,
as a
God, yeah.
classic.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
beyond.
There's
classic.
too many to even
There
name.
really is. There really is.
Yeah, it's like an endless list, but it's all awesome.
And an unofficial plug, and I'm just gonna throw this out there because I reached out to somebody because I was hoping to do like an official promo, and I was gonna air it at the beginning and maybe in the middle of this. But you know what? I'll go guerrilla on it and just say, you know, unofficially go subscribe to Troma now. $4.99 a month.
Yeah.
And you get some crazy ass movies. And like everything is on there, and you need to check this out. And you get your first month for free. So, and of course, there's even stuff in the documentary Next Stop Tromaville that Lloyd talks about with Troma.
Lloyd teaches you, as the audience, he teaches you how to steal Troma Now subscriptions for free, which is again a beautiful thing to have in a documentary, is how to commit internet fraud.
Right. That was amazing.
God, I love that, man.
I know. So Again, thank you guys for coming on. So when is Next Stop Tromaville coming out? When and it's going to be released in the Mr. Melvin box set through reuse?
Yes.
When is it going to be available?
Well, it's available for pre-order now, and I think it's coming out late August, early September, if I'm not mistaken. And in the meantime, you should check out Liam's movies because he did Eddie Miss Campbell and My Bloody Banjo, and they're incredible too, and they're released by Trim.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Liam is one of the most ridiculous directors I've ever had the pleasure of being around. I love him to death.
Not to
I
mention the fact that he has.
Eating Miss
He's-
Campbell was fucked. Eating Miss Campbell is such a fucked movie.
I sense another upcoming guest.
Oh, I could hook that up for sure. He's a great dude, good friend of ours. In fact, he's so hardcore he has trauma tattooed on his inside of his bottom lip.
No, yeah, that's fantastic.
That is so cool.
Where's
Now,
that dope out for good?
besides Trauma, what other like insane movies do you guys get into? I know we're kind of winding down here a bit, but Trauma is amazing, but also like we'll just say Trauma adjacent style, just that oddball, something that the lesser known people that are into film, but not the crazy shit that we're talking about today. Like what something else that you would recommend that they watch that's also an oddball film?
Oh, I got one. Do you got one, Wheels?
Yeah, I'm thinking of one because I have a couple in my head. Actually, one of them was yeah, you go first. You go first.
I've been preaching the good word of Psycho Cop Returns for a good 15 years now. If you want a great trauma adjacent film, uncut Psycho Cop Returns. It's on Tubi right now. You won't be disappointed.
Sweet.
We did both of these. They were different episodes, but we're gonna give our favorite movie snobs one. The Psycho Cop one was fucking ridiculous, and I gave balls Benny's Video, which is a lesser known Michael Haneke movie that hilariously has a special guest appearance from the Toxic Avenger in the movie. But it is a fucked movie.
We've been doing that show of ours for a couple years now, and that's the first time he's ever scarred me with a movie. I usually scar him with the bullshit I make him watch. First time he's ever disturbed me.
God damn, you gave me Zoo, and I can't look at horses now without getting an erection.
I've never seen a movie, but I had the same problem.
Well, if you want a newer one though, I love The Sadness. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I
haven't seen that yet.
Sadness.
Yeah, if you want to see a really fucked up movie, yeah, check that one out.
Right now, the movie that like I am completely obsessed with right now, and it's not horror by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just insanity at its fun. It is a insane fever dream on LSD, and it's hundreds of angry beavers.
I knew
I
it.
love that.
knew
I've
it.
seen
You were
that.
gonna
That's
say
great.
Oh my god, it's phenomenal. It is
It's
so
super
good.
great. I love that.
That is like one of right now. That is like I've watched it like 3 times in the last couple of days.
And here I am.
It's
I
so
can't even
good.
sit down to watch it. And I've been trying to watch Obsession for like since it came out on HBO Max or Peacock, whatever it was, whatever it started streaming on. I've been trying to watch it since. I haven't even been able to sit down and like watch it. So
That's my favorite movie of the year so far.
really, I've heard
Really?
so many great things, and that Indy Navarrete, she's gonna be huge. She's gonna be huge. But
She's going to be a great rogue.
Thank you. I've been saying it ever since they announced it, and I feel bad that she's dealing with a lot of the backlash that she's
Fuck
getting
people.
right
We don't know
now.
what you're talking about.
Oh, I agree.
Nobody's ever satisfied.
Nope,
So,
not at
especially
all.
comic
You're
fans.
never going to get no one is ever going to like if you put 100 people in a room,
Yep.
none of them are 80% of them are not going to agree with anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like who cares? Do what you want to do and get it out there, and then just see where the chips fall.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Guys, where can everybody find you at?
Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on Instagram, Matt ONesti, or Facebook, Matt Wheels ONesti.
If you guys want to check out our show, Movie Snobs, and I have a bunch of other shows that are on. I have a channel called BFE TV. It has that show and about 3 or 4 other shows. And if you're into punk and ska music. There's a lot of live videos on there, and a lot of interviews with horror actors and ska musicians. So
Sweet.
if that's up your alley, check it out, man. That's really where you could find me at.
And Mike, where can everybody find you? I know where everybody can find you. See if you can get it right.
Punk Rock Mike on Instagram, Nomad Comics on Instagram, Nomad Comics on TikTok.
I'm gonna start
So that's where
writing
you
cue
can
cards
find
and I'm gonna
me.
hold them up every time that I tell you where can everyone find you at.
I know. I'm always like, whatever.
Brian, what about you, man?
Just Brian the Misfit on Instagram.
And I am at Pop Pod Richie and Lights Camera Pop Pod, or the horror of it all. I gotta condense them all down or something. I don't know. But guys, keep in mind Weird Al for 2027 at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And I hope that everybody has a great week out in Podland. And I hope that you enjoy this episode. Share the shit out of it. And go pre-order the Mr. Melvin box set. I will be posting up the links on the website and on the Facebook page. Go pre-order that and make sure you check out Next Stop Tromaville. I am so geeked. I cannot wait to get my copy.
Support independent film, support independent music, support independent literature, guys.
Don't give up the fight for truly independent cinema.
Is that a sticker?
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta send them.
I'll send you some. We got buttons, we got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got dildos, all kinds of stuff.
Ooh, what size?
Hell yeah.
DIY till we die.
Well, guys, have a great evening, and we will be talking to everybody real soon. Thanks for getting your geek on with us, and stay spooky.
Peace and love.
Thank you,
You're on, guys.